Hey, what's up? It's Dr. Kai Dupe coming to you live on this Saturday. Beautiful Saturday here in the Pacific Northwest, April 2nd. This is episode 80, Code in While Black. And as I said before, I'm going to do 100 of these and I'm going to go on to my next endeavor. But my goal here is to share knowledge, share information, share my experience as it relates to being a black person working as a software developer. As we've chronicled here on the channel, there are unique challenges and obstacles and hurdles that are placed before you as a black person in tech, and more specifically as a software developer. And, I try to share what I can and help share some light on it based on my life experience, being in my field in the career for over 30 years, and as well as my research that I conducted at Pepperdine University. This was the subject of my dissertation. Share these videos with people you think that can use them. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll continue to make the next 20. I can't believe I made it to 80, but I did. So anyway, what I want to talk about today is a phenomenon that I have noticed over my career. And it's a phenomenon that is easily explained. And so I'm going to take a stab at it today. And that is, you may see a pattern of black women, black men who work in tech. And in my day, this was very common. You'll see them job hopping. You'll see them switching jobs a lot, or a lot of times you'll see that. And it's a very simple explanation for that, and it's different from what other folks experience on the job. And what I mean by that is, you may hear a lot of times in tech, you'll say, oh, folks will leave their job for more money. And the tech industry is so lucrative. It's very easy to be in one job and hop to the next one for pay. I've certainly done that over the course of my career. That happened a lot when I was early in my career, say the first 5 years, first 10 years. But when you get over 30 or in your 30s, usually, and for the most part, that kind of job hopping sort of settles down a little bit, or that would seem to be what the norm would be, or the more general case. But if you look at African American people, I don't have any research to back this up. I don't have any studies, and I haven't even bothered to look. But this is anecdotal from the fact that I know a lot of black people in the field, and I watch them and I follow them and I see them. And as I say this, I'm thinking of a couple of different people. One is a woman and one is a man who over the last 3 years, right, have had many jobs. And when they go on those jobs, these are not contracting jobs. These are not consulting jobs. These are full-time positions. Sometimes they're high-ranking positions. And these folks that I'm referring to, and there's several of them, they don't last on these jobs 6 months. 6 months to a year, they're gone. They go to the next job. Another 6 months, another year, they're gone. They go to the next job. Another year, 5, 6 jobs. Well, what I think is happening there, and again, this is just my opinion, is that these folks, like myself, have been mistreated, have been in situations that are unfair. They're not getting their raises, they're not getting their promotions, they're not getting the credit for their work, they're not given opportunities. Well, when you've been in this field for a long time, like the folks I'm referring to have, you become very skilled at recognizing this. You become very skilled at realizing, okay, I'm once again in a place where I'm not going to be treated fairly. I've done that quite a bit in my career, but over the last couple of jobs I've had, I've still experienced it to this day. And but I'm in a different position. And so, I've learned, I shouldn't say I've learned, but I've chosen to, once I see that, I have a tolerance level. There's only so much that I'm going to let slide before I leave, right? I'm just not as quick on the draw, as fast, and I'm not as trigger happy as I used to be when I was a younger man, when I didn't have children, when I didn't have a wife, when I didn't have responsibilities. But I know people who are in my position and they're still leaving quickly. I know single women who have multiple children who still, and they notice when they see, hey, I'm once again in a place where I'm the most skilled, most educated, most experienced, and I'm still at the bottom of the totem pole, and I'm not getting the respect that I deserve, that I've earned, that I am due. So sometimes you will hear folks refer to, I've heard over the years, it's not a good thing to job hop. And I've heard the opposite right here lately. I don't care whether it's good or not. I don't care how it looks on a resume. I don't care how it plays when you're interviewing. The bottom line is there's so many opportunities out here that there's no longer any reason for someone who feels like they're being mistreated to stay there and get mistreated, right? Again, for me, I have a tolerance level. I could easily go to another job and go to the next. I could easily do that. But there's also an effort required to do that, that oftentimes I'm not willing to give. The whole interview process and going through that whole process, I am not a fan. I hope that I never have to interview again, even within the company that I'm working at, right? The interview process is broken. I've mentioned that on previous videos. It's a mess. You go up, you read a job description, you go apply for the job, they bring you in for an interview. They're asking you stuff that has nothing to do with the job. These companies have no idea how to gauge qualifications. It's completely broken. But that's a little bit off the point. My point is, when you see this job hopping, you say, this person just started this job and 4 months later they're gone. It's because they realize this is not the place for me. Culturally, right? As well as, but for the most part, when we're talking about black people, they recognize the bias. They recognize the racism. They recognize the inequities, and they're just no longer tolerating it, and they jump to the next job. They jump to the next job, they see it right away again, right? I see it all the time. I just choose to go, okay, I realize I'm in this situation like this again, and I'm just going to deal with it because I've dealt with it my entire career. So that's just my 2 cents for today. Once again, episode 80, Coding While Black. Hope you found this useful. Dr. Kai Dupe, episode 80. Peace.